Hello, hello, welcome. I'm Angel, and this is Angel's Starlight Tarot, where we talk about all things energy, astrology, numerology, tarot, and beyond. So let's talk about it. This one's going to be a little bit different. I have spent my lifetime channeling the information and the energy around me from heart, soul, to hand, to pen, to paper, for as far back as I can remember. I have spent numerous hours in my life writing. And the energy around this video here has been processing over the last handful of days. And when I got up this morning, it decided to channel out to pen to paper. So I hope you'll bear with me a little bit as I explain why this one's going to be a little bit different. This one's going to be a little bit more of a sediment out to my now fellow YouTube community, the people that have been in my life over the last 42 years who may come across this, and to anyone who would like to get to know me. I'm not just here to look at and read the energy. I'm here to get to know you and let you get to know me. I'm new to creating my own channel in the YouTube community, but I'm not new to reading the energy, astrology, numerology, tarot, or the alike, or supporting the spiritual community here on YouTube. They've helped walk me through some pretty dark days and nights. I can't thank them enough. There are no words. We'll talk about it someday. It's been a life here for me, and the last 3 or 4 years have been off the chain in the transformation of jumping timelines. The last year I have spent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, solely. I don't even leave the house anymore, with a random drop-in every few months. It's been a life hard pause, intentional. I know that the universe intentionally has put me in a hard pause. In this year, I've done everything I can without the dollars that I have in my pocket to support the supportable with constant viewing, sometimes even when I'm not listening, likes, comments, interacting in the live chats, viewing their ads, and sharing their content. Coming from an informative consulting throughout my life while supporting the products of others, and becoming a licensed hairstylist, to being a beauty consultant of hair care products, to consulting and managing Sephora inside JCPenney's with high-end skincare, makeup, and fragrances, to consulting in the world of marijuana as medicine. If we have a spine, then we have an endocannabinoid system that needs fed cannabinoids just as our immune system needs vitamin C to run at its optimum levels. I've spent a lot of time honing in on the best, and then sharing and supporting my discoveries in the ways I'm capable at any time given. When I had babies, I supported other people's products and hard work, baby goods needed to raise a baby, always finding the best of the best for the least amount of money. I grew up poorly, in a poorly area, with many, many low vibrational humans walking around in their egos. It was always up to me as a soul walking amongst them to figure it all out myself. Hopefully you feel where I'm coming from here. I'm 100% all about supporting the supportable, and there are many in the spiritual YouTube community that I have spent a lot of time supporting over the last 3 years. and then with a very intentional over the last year. I mention this to make it very, very clear to the spiritual community here that I'm not here to step on your toes or to insert myself where I may no longer be wanted, since changing the channel's name from Angel's Healing Corner 313 to Angel's Starlight Tarot that it is today. This wasn't a cute little trick or name. The original intent when creating the channel long ago. You can see that in the details of the channel, I believe. My original plan before following Spirit's guidance was to have 2 channels. One for plant medicine, one for spirituality. But I truly wanted both combined as the ultimate original idea, well over 5 years ago, was to create a plant medicine channel. Sadly, I knew that idea was on hold. My life then would have never permitted that to go forward. I apologize. Hang on one moment. Wee little tiny recheck here. Smoke is going out and we need it for this one most definitely. And I have water this time, not coffee. Good girl. Almost ready, set, go. As I started moving the channels forward, something wasn't right. It was off. It wasn't till clear. It wasn't till my history flashed before my eyes that I knew what the spiritual channel's name needed to be. My name. My birth name at the time of my birth, and for 3 days after, before dark energy walked into my mother's hospital room and changed it, ultimately changing the trajectory of my life. So I'll tell the story again as quickly as possible. My mother's version of the story. They put you on my chest, and I just knew I was holding my little Amanda Starlight, my little Mandy. Your father's family came in and blew a gasket about the name Amanda in 1979, at which point she cowered and switched it to her choice in name, her other choice in name, Angelique K. She went from naming me after the stars of the universe and the light side of our family, the Potawatomi Indians and the Reinhardts, and the Indians, that her father came from, and the Reinhardts, to naming me after the Dark Witch from the old Dark Shadow soap opera, and my birth father's last name, that through research at about 39 years old, shows they were the last family adopted into the Illuminati, as my birth father's sister and her husband offered my mother a pocket full of money and a red Corvette to give me to them permanently. My mother refused that offer, but she did change my name for them from the light to the dark. Now I feel the need to make it very, very clear right now that my father and his sister are not my papa, my aunt's husband. That's an entirely different conversation. What he was doing for me was from the light, as my phone just went off. What they were doing was from a shadow spot, whether they realized it or not. For the ones that know me in my real life for all these years are shitting their pants hearing me say God's name, to have Jesus sitting here with me. My life motto was, something ultimately created all this, but I don't know that his name is God. I have stories with this. The book that contains stories written, revised, and passed down by humans by the name of the Holy Bible didn't make sense to my extremely logical mind, and no one could ever answer my questions. They could never just say that these are stories that are to be used metaphorically to help stay on a spiritual path in this human life. Why? Why, in damn near 43 years, has nobody ever been able to say that? Indoctrinated by organized religion, with layers so deep it's sick. Which is why I never felt comfort inside of a building of organized religion. The weight that would hit my chest, my heart chakra, was intense, and I've spoke of it all of my real life. I grew up from 3 to 14, 5 houses down from what some call the most beautiful Catholic church in the state, and a small-ass town saturated in churches of all denominations. I can count on 2 hands, probably 1 even, how many times I have physically been inside any of those buildings, and some are literally only because that's where our schools and coaches would hold sports banquets at times. The Masonry Church, for example. The vibe there was whoa, and it wasn't even a service. I have been inside the one 5 houses down, where I lived from 3 to about 14 years old, one time. I was much more comforted by spirit in the playground out back and the cemetery it was all attached to. Never, ever have I been a spellcaster, as in what we know to be spells, or one working in the shadows to manipulate another's path in any way. It's always been reading the energy surrounding me. Clear. And I knew as early as I can remember that something wasn't entirely right inside these buildings. My birth father's sister and her husband, my papa, attended another Catholic church that I went to every other Sunday for all my early childhood. Cold, dark, the furthest thing from child-friendly. As a young child, I despised sitting in the energy. I had other experiences in my younger years with other denominations as I attempted to do Sunday school with my friends in my hometown. No questions answered, no comfort to be found. I didn't learn his name was in fact God until I did everything but unalive myself just over a year ago. After a ridiculously harsh life. Wow, that came out weird. After a ridiculously harsh life. Then the world I was helping to build collapsed entirely. I tapped, for a very short period of time, that damn near took me all the way out of here, with intention. That was the time frame that I learned his name, God, with a Holy Bible in the nightstand next to me. I respect his name now. He told me the story. Crawling with energy. He finally answered my lifelong 3D questions in those days. And I just heard Abraham Hicks say, "Don't go into the hole. Don't go into the hole. If you don't go into the hole, you can't get out of the hole. If you don't go into the hole, you won't be in the hole." Please go find that Abraham Hicks video. He himself finally answered my lifelong 3D questions in those days, and the days, weeks, months to follow. I'm not wrong. I was never wrong to not fall into the hole. I had passed a test throughout my life over and over again that I didn't know I was taking. It wasn't my path to his true self. And I believe that's true for many. There's no one right or wrong way to meet God and build your conscience relationship with him. He's always there in the subconscious, whether you know it or not. The 3D conscious is a little bit different. And it doesn't always take a building or a book to do him right and to make him proud. And let me make it clear, I never ever denied our Creator, and he knows that. I doubted his name, and that was society's fault, not his or mine. He was always there, but I had to pass the tests they set before me to get to him in raw form. I never doubted him. I doubted the book, the people, and the buildings, as I was supposed to. Now don't get me wrong. I respect the shit out of the ones that have used the above to find their path with him. I now understand how beautiful the stories are, although obscured by man is always there in my mind. I can enjoy them for their teachings. This page gets a little journalish, so please bear with me. Okay, I got it now, I believe. Wow. Bear with me, bear with me. Okay, I think I got it. Wow. I didn't go over this before I'm here on camera. I'll also take the moment right now to say I'm not here to create a perfect video. I'm not here to have clean-cut, professional videos. I'm here to be me in the raw, in the real, just like I always have been in my everyday life. Again, I'm looking to get to know you, and I'm giving you a chance to get to know me, if that's something that you would like to do, if that's something that resonates with you. So, here we go again. In my young childhood, before 13, I had experienced different forms of what we call divination. Just as my great-gram, it always worked for me, and I knew it was working for me, as I watched the same forms make fools of others involved. You see, when I was a kid, Big Box Chain Toy Company purchased and still owns today the Ouija board. The fact that a toy company bought and produces this after all we know today should, in my humble opinion, scare the fuck out of people, and should be heavily avoided as far as I'm concerned. I surely have experience, and it wasn't always pretty. I was designed to work in the light, angel starlight. To finish the name story, the follow-up of my mother's story was that had she been thinking, she would have named me Angel Starlight instead of the Amanda Starlight. My father's family was throwing a fit about the Amanda, not necessarily the rest of it. Clear. Oh. I was designed to work in the light, Angel Starlight, the Reinhardts, with my light-working spiritualist side of my family, not the side working in their secrets and shadows. I work in the light for all to see. I'm not just here to have a cute table and play tarot cards, which happen to be similar stories to Bible in their own right. I'm here to get to know you, let you get to know me, my life, and how I got here, and why I'm here. To help support and spread love. To help support and spread love to all here, just as I've done. I've side noted, return to sender is ultimately wishing harm onto another. I'm charged with return to karma. I let karma teach the lessons that she knows is best. I don't interfere. She terrifies me, and I respect her. She's my friend because of it. If you envy me, wish harm on me, feel some kind of wrong way about me, I have no control over how she chooses to teach you. And it's very real in my world. She's had to have my back in my life. Some understand, and some don't. And I understand that. But the ones that are supposed to come across me and be a part of this journey and be a part of this channel will come. When it comes to the Ouija board and the spell magic, interfering negatively with someone else's path, that is in no way, shape, or form condoned by spirit, as my stomach just growled loudly. It is not condoned by spirit. The envy eye, the evil eye that is on my table, is charged with return to karma. It is not up to me to return to sender. I don't wish people harm. I just don't. If they are trying to harm me, I simply wish them to learn better, to do better. And however it is that needs to happen for them is okay with me. It's not up to me. So I unknowingly, being very, very young, before I was 13 years old, playing with Ouija boards, it was unknowingly, but I was clearly supposed to experience those things, to have the information that I have now today, and being able to understand that we literally have had a major toy company buy with dollars, money, buy a very, very, very spiritual board. And for me, I just don't believe that it is capable of working under the same light of its original intent. I don't believe its original intent was to cause harm per se. I believe it is very much so capable of being out of control and causing harm. In my experience, we have limited control with that energy and working with that form of spirit divination. I'll continue. I want to keep helping and supporting and spreading the love to all here before me, as I also help spread the light of spirituality in hopes of others catching on in the way that so many others have up to this point. My generation didn't always, generational. Up to this point, didn't always have teachers to help us along, or easy access information at our fingertips to lean on. We had to figure it out organically and over time. Very deep roots. I'm grateful it's so widespread these days, and I'd like to find my tribe of like-minded and open-minded souls in human form. I hope that I'm able to help others connect the dots in their own path by sharing mine. All things energy. God, Spirit, is energy. God created all. It's all energy to be used in the light. We're not talking about Black Moon Lilith here. I want to continue to support my favorite channels, my favorite content creators, and my favorite people like I always have. I don't want others to feel some kind of ill way because my channel now ends in tarot and has content behind it. There's enough love out here for all of us, and we're all needed. Just another something I've always said and stood behind. I'm not the one here with any kind of ill, selfish intent. The energy here in Leo season feels great for us. Cancer season was a bit cold and rough for us. We are warming up and ready to come out and play. Want to play nice? Or you want to be an asshole? I'm not here for assholes. I've never followed the crowd. I've always built my path. I'm not here to take from you. I'm here to help create more of us. Everyone is capable. But it isn't everyone's path until it is. Peace, still, calm be with you. Love and light.